The night was cold. It was February 5th, 2013, and the parking lot of a Southside Walmart in Pueblo, Colorado was nearly deserted. At 10:20 p.m., a young woman named Kelsie Schelling had texted her on-again, off-again boyfriend Donthe Lucas that she had arrived. She was pregnant, and she had driven all the way from Denver to see him. But the most damning moment of the entire tragedy would not occur until the next morning. Surveillance cameras captured a car, Kelsie's car, sitting in that spot overnight. Then at 7:17 a.m., a lone figure approached the vehicle, got in, and drove away. That figure was not Kelsie, it was Donthe Lucas, and in that silent, mundane act, the mystery of a missing person was exposed as a homicide. Kelsie Schelling, born in 1991, grew up in the small, one-stoplight town of Holyoke, Colorado. Her parents owned the local grocery store. Her personality was a firecracker, active, outspoken, with a contagious laugh that drew people to her. However, a difficult divorce between her parents when she was 11 marked a rough patch, leading her to hit a breaking point where she required hospitalization. Luckily, she was able to recover. After her recovery, she found a new resolve to be the best version of herself. This recovery led her to college, a fresh start, and a chance at her dream of a psychology degree. She was the prom queen her senior year. It was at Northeastern Junior College that she met Donthe Lucas. Lucas was the big guy on campus, a 6'7" star athlete, popular with NBA dreams. He was well-raised, kind and talented. But in dating him, Kelsie fell into a pattern her friends recognized. She was drawn to men who needed fixing, believing she could change them through investment and devotion. Donthe, however, was never as serious about Kelsie as she was about him. Their relationship was transactional. She would give him money, lend him her car, and invest all of her time. It was a connection that was not built on genuine commitment from his side. The distance eventually grew when Kelsie transferred to California, while Donthe moved to Kansas. But after Kelsie moved back to Denver, the connection rekindled. And in early 2013, everything changed. Kelsie discovered she was pregnant. Donthe Lucas was the father. Kelsie's mother, Laura, recalled her daughter's nervousness about sharing the news, but offered immediate, unconditional support. Kelsie was excited to become a mother, but the father of her child was anything but thrilled. He was angry. Kelsie knew that to be the best mother, she couldn't remain in a toxic relationship. On February 3rd, 2013, she sent Donthe a final text, giving him an out. She told him he didn't need to be involved if he didn't want to be. She had this on her own. Dante's reply was chilling. "I already knew that, but thanks though." The next day, after a doctor's appointment confirmed the pregnancy, Kelsie texted Donthe a picture of the sonogram. His response was cold. Cool. Yet Donthe then became persistent. He urged Kelsie to drive down from Denver to Pueblo to see him, claiming he didn't want to fight but had something to give her. When Kelsie asked what it was, Donthe replied with a chilling promise. "Just wait and see for yourself. You probably wouldn't believe me if I told you anyway. So, you can see for yourself." Kelsie clocked out of work at 8:40 p.m. on February 4th and drove to Pueblo. Donthe initially directed her to a Walmart, but then, at the last minute, changed the plan. He told her to meet him at his grandmother's neighborhood, their normal spot. At 11:18 p.m., Kelsie texted him, "Where are you? I've been here over an hour just waiting." That was the last known communication from Kelsie Schelling. The next day, she missed her work shift. A conversation with her boss via text claimed she was in the hospital and the baby was no longer viable. But as days passed, the family grew concerned. Kelsie was only texting, not calling, and the text contained strange grammatical errors and phrasing that was unlike her. On February 9th, her parents drove to her apartment. It was empty. She was reported missing. Kelsie's mother, Laura, reached out to Donthe directly. He claimed he hadn't heard from her, acting entirely unconcerned. Hours later, he called back with a story. Kelsie had called him from a private number saying she didn't have her phone, but would call her parents soon. The case was handed to the Pueblo Police Department, and Donthe was brought in for an interview. In this first interview, Donthe severely downplayed their relationship, claiming it was never serious. He said Kelsie got mad during their conversation, slept in her car, and then he dropped her off at Parkview Medical Center the next morning. He claimed she spent 2 hours inside, came out, said she'd had a miscarriage, and then they drove to the Walmart, where she got snacks for the drive home. He said she told him to get out of her car and walk home, the last time he ever saw her. The problems with this story were immediate. Parkview Medical Center had no record of Kelsie ever being a patient. Furthermore, the Walmart surveillance cameras, which Donthe claimed showed Kelsie entering for snacks, told a completely different story. The footage showed Kelsie's car arriving, but only one person, Donthe, exited the vehicle. Kelsie was never seen. The car sat in the parking lot until 7:17 a.m. on February 6th, when an unknown male drove it away. Then, the true evidence began to surface. On February 14th, Kelsie's car was found abandoned at a different location, the St. Mary Corwin Medical Center. Police then checked Kelsie's bank records and found a withdrawal of $400 from a drive-through ATM on the morning of February 5th at 11:39 a.m. Police tracked the ATM footage. Clear as day, the camera captured Donthe Lucas alone, driving Kelsie's car and taking the money. Confronted with the evidence, Donthe initially claimed confusion, but then said he used the money to pay his phone bill. Pressed further, he invented a new timeline, claiming he must have used the ATM while Kelsie was at her non-existent doctor's appointment. When police informed him that there was no record of Kelsie at the medical center, Donthe shut down, claiming he was being framed and demanding a lawyer. He was initially arrested for identity theft, but the charges were dropped after police learned Kelsie had often given him permission to use her card. Donthe walked free. The case went cold for several years due to a lack of solid, non-circumstantial evidence. Kelsie's family never stopped fighting. They continued to search and advocate, maintaining a Facebook page to keep her case alive. 2 years after her disappearance, the page received a terrifying message. It was a scam. A man claimed Donthe had hired a friend to kill Kelsie, but the friend instead sold her into sex trafficking. He offered to bring her back for the $50,000 reward money. The plan involved meeting an intermediary named Marcus, wearing a red hat at a McDonald's in Vancouver, Washington. The family, desperate, played along, agreeing to go through with the exchange even though they were highly skeptical. Laura reached out to the Vancouver Police Department, but they backed out, stating they believed the operation was an internet scam, not a trafficking ring. Laura was devastated, unwilling to leave any stone left unturned. Interestingly, 2 weeks later, the family of another missing woman in Ohio, Megan Lancaster, received nearly the exact same email, demanding money to save their daughter from the same trafficking ring. ABC's 2020 set up a sting operation and confronted Marcus at the McDonald's. Marcus claimed he was just involved in an online jewelry scheme and had no idea the operation was linked to 2 missing women. What was clear, however, was that the emails demanding the $50,000 ransom were tracked by the FBI to an IP address originating in Russia. This confirmed the criminal nature of the plot, though it offered no help in locating Kelsie. The true break in the case came from a local woman named Lauren Shaich. She lived in Pueblo and was determined to find answers for Kelsie's family. Lauren's plan was audacious. She would befriend Donthe and get close enough to earn his trust. She found him on Facebook and initiated a conversation. After messaging for some time, the two finally met in person. Lauren said that over time, Donthe displayed an extreme sense of entitlement, but she was able to break down his walls. The two developed a romantic relationship that lasted approximately a year, culminating in Donthe asking Lauren to marry him. Lauren accepted at the time, recognizing she had crossed the point of no return. She knew she had to end things and go to the authorities. When new detectives took over the case, shifting it from a missing person to a homicide investigation, Lauren told them everything. She confessed to the relationship and revealed a critical admission from Donthe. He told her he was the one who moved Kelsie's car from the Walmart to the St. Mary Corwin Medical Center on the morning of February 6th. This confirmed police suspicions and was a key link. Shortly after, Donthe was arrested on unrelated assault charges, giving police the opportunity to question him again. In this interview, he finally admitted to moving the car, confirming Lauren's account. Police were now confident they had enough evidence. On December 1st, 2017, Donthe Lucas was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The trial began in February 2021. The prosecution argued a clear, classic motive. Donthe did not want to be a father, and Kelsie was killed to prevent that reality. The defense argued this was still a missing person case. There was no body, no weapon, and no crime scene, a difficult task to overcome in a murder trial. The prosecution put up a strong fight, using the text messages, the surveillance footage, and the bank records to paint a picture of undeniable guilt. Kelsie's mother, Laura, testified. Lauren Scher recounted Donthe's car confession, but the most moving and damning testimony came from a fellow inmate named Ryan. Ryan claimed that Donthe had told him directly that no one would ever find Kelsie's body. The defense tried to cast doubt on Lauren's credibility and argued that Kelsie was simply using drugs and had left to meet a drug dealer. After several hours of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict. Donthe Lucas was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Jurors later stated that the most crucial, damning evidence was the jailhouse confession, the chilling conviction that Kelsie's body would never be recovered. Today, even with the conviction, the central question remains unanswered. The strongest theory suggests Kelsie's body was left in a landfill. The cell phones of both Kelsie and Donthe pinged in the area of a local landfill in the late night and early morning hours of February 4th and 5th. A landfill expert testified that locating her remains there is now nearly impossible. Despite the insurmountable odds and the final verdict, Kelsie's family has never given up hope. They continue to search, to advocate, and to fight. The final act of justice can only be completed when they are finally able to bring Kelsie Schelling home. If this investigation resonated with you, please consider hitting the like button and leaving a comment to support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more investigations into the truth behind the darkness.